Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So if you've been following along with us all week, then you've heard about 4 out of the 5 negotiation styles so far. So I'm just kind of wondering, did you recognize yourself in any of them? Did any of them sort of speak to you and say, oh man, that sounds really familiar? And have you been following along with our scavenger hunt? Because you know that if you can find out what all 5 of the negotiation styles are, then we have an extra special prize for you. So if you're interested in learning what your personal negotiation style is and the tools that you need in any negotiation, all you have to do is click on the Learn More button below for information about our one-day workshop called Negotiate Like a Lady. It is a whole day. It's 9 to 4, and you'll get all of the information down there. We feed you goodie bags, all sorts of good stuff on top of all of the great knowledge that you're going to get. We also have extended our early bird pricing through Monday. And so if you use the code SAVVY VIP, that's SAVVY VIP, then you can get an additional $50 off of the early bird price. Plus, if you want an even deeper discount, you can pay attention to this video, or you can go on the scavenger hunt, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to give you the answers here in this video. And if you comment on this video or any of the other videos that we've done this week on the 5 different negotiation styles, then we will PM you with a code that will bring the whole day down to just $47. So if you're interested, if you want to come, you want to hang out with us, then you can get it for $97 if you use the code SAVVYVIP, and you can get it all the way down to $47 if you pay attention to this video, or if you go back and do our scavenger hunt. I'll tell you that Heather wrote out some of the titles, and so if you go on the Savvy Boss Lady page on Facebook, you probably can find the answers. So if you're interested in that, all you got to do again is just click on the Learn More button that's down at the bottom, and that'll send you to all of the information, and we can get going from there. So that's the deal with all of the discount codes and the stuff and all that. But what you're probably here for is to learn about the compromising style, which is our last negotiation style out of the 5. So the compromising style is really common, and it's also probably my least favorite of the styles. So it's really only appropriate when you're talking about literally money and nothing else. So compromising style, earlier in the week, we've talked about assertiveness versus cooperativeness. And most all of the other styles were high somewhere and low somewhere else, or they were high on both or low on both. But the compromising style is the middle ground. It is sort of moderate on assertiveness and sort of moderate on cooperativeness, which means that you care a little bit about what you get in the negotiation, and you care a little bit about what the other person gets and about the relationship, but you're just sort of in the middle on everything. So that's the difference with that versus some of the other styles in terms of assertiveness and cooperativeness. So like I said, the only time that I really like the compromising style is when you're really talking about dollars and cents, right? And you've already decided that you want something, and they want to get $3 for it, and you want to pay $1 for it, and you're like, hey, can we meet in the middle at $2, right? That's the only time that the compromising style to me is a great style. And so and that's pretty common. That's when you hear about it the most, right? Is, okay, well, let's just meet in the middle, or let's split the difference, right? So when I don't think that it's a good style, though, is for pretty much everything else. Because the problem is with a compromising style in negotiations, you don't get what you need out of the negotiation. You give something up in order to get something, and you guys sort of meet in the middle on all of the issues. And so you're not actually getting what you need on any of the issues. And the idea with a negotiation is to get as many of your needs met as possible. Hopefully to get all of your needs met in a negotiation, and then to get any of your wants that you can get in the negotiation through giving something up or through, you know, trying to figure out what the other person needs. Maybe you can give them something that they need and they can give you something that you want. But really the goal of any negotiation should be to get your needs met first. And with a compromising style, because you've got this attitude of, oh, well, let's just meet in the middle, you're not actually getting your needs met. You're only getting part of your need met. And so that's why I don't like it, because you kind of win, but you kind of lose. You don't actually win and you don't actually lose, but you don't actually win.
Right. Well, I was going to say that there's sort of this school of thought in marriages and relationships, especially, that compromising really isn't a compromise, because somebody has to lose in order for a compromise to be effective. So compromising, even though it sounds like everybody's getting a little bit of what they want, what it really boils down to is nobody gets what they want. And at least one person is probably giving up more than they really would want to.
Right. So, you know, a compromising style, when we think about it, you know, in terms of relationships or whatever, people will always say, oh, well, let's compromise on it. Realistically, a better option is, I'll give you this thing that you want that doesn't matter that much to me, but you need to give me this thing that I want that does matter a lot to me. And so it's actually a trade-off. It's not a compromise. Because compromise legitimately means meeting in the middle. So and meeting in the middle doesn't get your needs met. And it doesn't get, you know, sometimes it gets your wants met, but it doesn't get your needs met. And one of the things that I teach in all of my negotiation courses is defining the difference between what is a need and what is a want, and being able to figure out what those things are. Because you have to know what you need versus what you want, so that you know where your position is.
Right. Because if you know what you want versus what you need, then you go in with, you know, armed with the knowledge, because knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Francis Bacon.
Because you go in armed with the knowledge of what you're willing to give up. And something that may be important to the person on the other side may not be as important to you. It may be easy for you to give up something that they are really stuck on. But you're right. I mean, in a compromise, if, you know, I'm saying, okay, well, I'm going to give up half of this thing that I really want, and you're going to give up half of this thing that you really want, that nobody ends up happy at the end of a compromise. They should have like a sixth negotiation style. That's like, you know, the trade-off. We need a trade-off negotiation style. Who do we have to talk to get that?
Okay, well, technically a trade-off negotiation style actually falls under the collaborative negotiation style more than anywhere else, because remember, collaborators, they put all of their information out there and then they think outside the box to figure out what solutions will work. So you do have trade-offs with the collaborative style. You can say, look, I'm totally willing to give you this thing if you'll give me that thing. Or maybe I'm willing to give you this thing and take half of this other thing that neither of us cares all that much about, in order for you to get the other half of this thing, and then to, you know, get the thing that I want. But, or even bigger outside the box than that, right? Like our example that we talked about the other day about trading things with people who aren't even in the negotiation in order to make stuff happen. So the collaborative style is actually the style that works most closely with that trade-off idea.
Ginger's asking lose-lose. So is the compromising style actually more of a lose-lose then?
Yeah, I mean, so people think of it as the middle ground, but for me, it's a lose-lose, right? Because you're not getting what you need. You're getting some of what you need if you're lucky, but you're also giving up some of what you need. So it generally just doesn't work. Like I said, the only time that a compromise situation is realistically a good, you know, idea is when it's something like money, like price, right? Where, you know, you're $50 apart, and can you come to an agreement in the middle? Because yes, one of you is giving up $25 that you would like to get, and the other one is giving up $25 that they would like to keep. But the reality is that you've already decided that you want the thing, whatever the thing is that you're spending that money on. And at some point it becomes, okay, well, are you willing to spend the extra $25 for it? And are you willing to take the $25 less? And that's an entirely different conversation, right? But that's the only time that for me, it makes sense for you to pick this compromising style and say, okay, well, let's just split the difference and come in the middle. The problem is that we've heard so much about compromise that it's kind of ingrained in us and we do it all the time. I mean, if you have never heard yourself saying, hey, let's just meet in the middle, or hey, let's split the difference, I would love to meet you, because
there's a book. There's a book.
There is a book.
Our friend Cynthia Jolicoeur says that there's an amazing book, and I forget the author.
I forget the author because I was thinking it too, but I didn't want to being able to credit.
Yeah, I forget the author's name, so I'll have to look it up. But it's called Never Split the Difference. And actually, I heard an interview with him on a podcast the other day, and the book is really amazing. It sounds like a lose-lose type of a thing, right? Never split the difference. But basically, the way he approaches it is exactly the same way that you're talking about it here, is that when you compromise, it's a lose for everybody, rather than going into negotiations or going into talks with somebody with the attitude of, I want this to be a win for everybody.
Right. Yeah. And,
now I have to find out who it is.
You have to find out who it is. You have to go Google. And we're not suggesting that you can't compromise, right? Like, there are ways to compromise without coming to a middle ground on every issue. Don't come to a middle ground on every issue. That's not where you need to be. If there are things where you have a want or you have, versus a need, and you can come to a middle ground and feel good about it, then okay, there are certain things that you can maybe come to a middle ground on. But the idea with never split the difference, or with not doing the compromising style in this exact way of, hey, picking the middle and picking the split the difference, is try and see where either you can come up with trade-offs, or where you can think outside the box, where you can come up with a solution that wasn't necessarily in the cards before. So, we've talked about all of the different styles, and I'm going to recap them real quick. So like I said, if you're paying attention, this is the spot right here, okay? Pen, paper, or just type it into the comments as I'm saying it. That would be cool too. So we got 5 different styles. Competitive, which is the one that everyone thinks of. That's the bully. That's the person who goes in. They are high on assertiveness, low on cooperativeness. They don't give anything about what you need out of the negotiation. All they care about is what they need out of the negotiation, and they are willing to fight for it. That's
win-lose.
That's a win-lose. Like, in order for me to win, you have to lose, is the mentality of your competitive style. Then you've got your avoiding style. Your avoiding style is low on assertiveness and on cooperativeness. And they're like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. No. You can make that decision instead of me, because I'm not. No, Switzerland. I have nothing. No.
Switzerland has good chocolate.
They have good chocolates, and they also don't want to be in conflict, which is our avoiding style. And then we've got our collaborative style, which I like. Our collaborative style is, here's all my stuff. If you show me all of your stuff, then maybe we can figure out what works best for everybody.
So that's more or less the win-win.
It's the win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win scenario.
Awesome.
Yes. So that one's my favorite, and that it really involves working together. It's high on cooperativeness, but it's also high on assertiveness. So it's high in both. You care a lot about what you get out of the deal, but you also care a lot about what the other person gets out of the deal. You want to try and come up with the solution that makes the most sense for everyone involved. So that's why I like it. The next one is your accommodating style. And your accommodating style, I like to refer to this as the mom style. This is the caring about everybody else's needs before your own. It is high on cooperativeness and low on assertiveness. Like I said, it is, okay, well, what do you need? What can I get for you out of this? How can I accommodate your needs? And not taking time to recognize that the reason you're in a negotiation is so that you can get something too. Like, you're not just there to cater to the person on the other side of the table. And then, of course, we have our compromising style. And our compromising style is, okay, well, can we just come to the middle? But that's not really, I mean, that's what we think of as a compromise, but that's not, again, you're not getting your needs fully met. You're going to give up something. It's a lose-lose.
Right.
You know.
Okay. So as we've been talking about it today, it's more of a lose-lose scenario more than anything.
Right. And your accommodating style, if you care, is like a lose-win, because you lose, but the other party wins.
Yep.
So competitive is a win-lose. I win, you lose. And then collaborative is a win-win-win, win-win-win-win.
Everybody wins.
Right. Avoiding is it's not really a win-lose or a lose-win or a lose-lose or a win-win. It's can we just figure out some way to not do this at all? And then your compromising style, like we said, is sort of a win-lose. And then your avoiding style is I'm sorry, not your avoiding, your accommodating style is a lose-win. I lose, you win.
Right.
So that's your 5. And
so now we've covered all of them. So now Jen can finally be done with her Facebook challenge.
Yay, no more Facebook challenge for me.
But if you'd like to come and see us, like we said, if you'd like to come and get some tools and tips and tricks on how to use your negotiating style to the best of your advantage in any negotiating situation. Again, that could be anything. It's not just business. It's not just, going to buy a car. There's lots of negotiation styles. If you're in relationships in anywhere in your life, you negotiate at some point. So the next Negotiate Like a Lady is going to be in San Jose, California on February the 9th, which is next Friday. As Jen said at the beginning, we extended the early bird pricing through Monday since we're just finishing up with the 5th negotiation style today. We figured we'd give you a little extra time with the discount code to give you $50 off. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I have to get on a plane. So
she does. She has to get on a plane because she's coming up here. Also, if you're interested, remember that Heather will give a little sneak peek at the San Jose one, at the San Jose Negotiate Like a Lady. She'll give a sneak peek of Bookkeeping Like a Boss.
Yep.
And if you're interested in Bookkeeping Like a Boss, the early bird pricing is still in effect for that one. That's in Walnut Creek on Saturday, February 24th.
Yep.
So you can come join us for that. And just remember that, I know what I was gonna say is that if you do sign up for any of the Negotiate Like a Ladies, we do send you a quiz to fill out. Yes, I make you do homework because I mean like that. But we send you a quiz to fill out. It's a self-assessment. You send it back to us. We score it for you so that you get to know what your personal negotiation style is. You find out what your most comfortable style is, what each style is along the way. So there may be ones where you're super low and ones where you're super high. You might be sort of in the middle, which is perfect because you can change between them easily. But then we also, based off of your style, give you tips and tricks on how to deal with the other styles and how to move seamlessly from one style to another so that you're not caught off guard by anyone.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I got.
That's all for today. And that wraps them all up. So it's been great hanging out with you guys here on Facebook. And we hope to see you all again soon. The next time we do the Facebook Live stuff, it'll be me in the hot seat. So
together. Together. Because it'll be next week. Because I'm going to make her do it now. And and she's going to sit there and she's going to do it. And it's going to be awesome.
So I'll post in the Savvy Boss Lady page, sort of what we're going to cover during the Bookkeeping Like a Boss Facebook Lives leading up to Bookkeeping Like a Boss on February the 24th. But in the meantime, let us know how you liked the video. Comment below if you'd like the deep discount code. And we'll see you all soon.
Exactly. Goodbye.
Bye.